Alrighty, here is the Mastermind Creations R17CS, the Continuum set video review. And it comes in this small little box. You'll see that in my hands. It's not a very big box at all. Maybe 2.5, 3 inches tall by about 5.5 inches long and maybe an inch thick. It's a very small box. And it shows you on the back you get millifex and billifex, or mega and giga, because mega is million and giga is billion, so millifex and billifex. I think there were some better names in the pipeline for that one, those, but millifex and billifex it is. And they interact with their carnifex, their overlord. And you get more than just these two guys, and we'll show it off here in a second, because I've already done them. Here are millifex and billifex together here. And they're little Power Master dudes for overlord. And we'll show you how they work here in a minute. But they're posable. They've got little ball joint shoulders, hinge elbows, ball joint hips, and then hinge knees. They're not super posable, but they're roughly the size of a Titan Master, so they're just they're a little bit more involved than a Titan Master. So, but yeah, neat little dudes. So let's bring Carnifex into view here. And first off, right off the bat, you'll see he's got some new little guns here. Now the instruction box shows these guns. You can see they attach to these positions in city mode, and this battle station mode is kind of a fan mode. I didn't feel like transforming them into the city mode, which is already kind of loosely held together just to show off the guns, but they do store on his legs as well. And you can see you've got a couple little rotating turrets down here that plug into the side. There's a little peg hole down here, just a little angle turret there. Right here in between, there's a little angling gun. You can see there's a square tab on the end of this, and it plugs in right to that hole right there on his shin guard. Just plug it in, and there you got the little raising and lowable guns there. Most of these can stay on the tank in tank mode as well. And then you got these guns right here on both sides that again raise up and lower and can rotate, and they plug in right here on the side of the leg. So you've got some bonus turrets, and I've got this whole add-on set installed, and I say installed, although it really isn't that much of a hassle to put on. So let's come up here to the chest. Get this refocused here. So one, he's got a new head. Let's bring this up and show this off. Here's the original head with the longer horns and the pouty, succulent lips, like in the comics. And then here's more of a new head, is more of a G1 overlord. You can see he's got the shorter antenna. But it's a nice looking head. I really do enjoy it. And all you have to do to put that on is there's just one screw on the back of the head right up in there. Just unscrew that, pull it apart, take the old head off, put the new head on the end. It really is that simple. And then the chest compartments you can see are now white. You pop these panels off, and these just plug in. There is a you can see there's a cutout for this rectangular piece. There's a little peg down here that pegs into this little hole right here, and then two pegs over here that peg into these two holes right here. So if you want, basically this add-on kit covers up some of the more ID, or covers up or replaces some of the more IDW bits, like the chest and the head, adds the guns, and gives him his Power Masters, which were not present before. You pull, like I said, you open these up, you just pop those little missile pods that were in there out. These actually stay on fairly securely, but they're not difficult to pull off, which is nice if you just want to swap between Comic Overlord or G1 Overlord. Kind of washing them out a little bit there on the edges, but I want to see the chest canopy. So to transform these guys, you can see like the arms need to fold forward, and they can't right now. You got to take this piece, the engine piece on the back, and rotate it around, and that also, it's attached and rotates the chest piece here down to the bottom. And once that's done, it gives clearance for the arms to fold forward. The arms fold forward in front of the little guy like that. Let's straighten this up. Yeah, got caught on the leg there. The legs come up to the side, like this on the ball joint, and then rotate them so the opening goes behind the chromed shiny piece. You want to rotate them like this. Basically so this colored piece inside the leg folds up, because there's a little tab on there that folds up and tabs into the side of the torso. And there you have one of the engines, which fits in right where the missile launcher did. And it does help if you push them in. When you push them in, push in the top first, and then push in the head, and they should lock into place fairly well. I mean, they don't lock, it's friction holding them in. Some people were complaining that they were loose, and I find that if you push the legs in first and then push the head into the little slot for the head, they tend to stay in. I mean, like you can see, I can wiggle this, and he's not falling out. Same here, Mega. Put this down and around. Flip around. Rotate the leg up. Fold it up. And then, again, push the top part in and push the head into the slot here. And there you have the Power Masters joined in. And one of the things that's nice about this one, since the Power Masters don't actually activate flip out guns and stuff. Oh, that fell over, but that's okay. Yeah. But since they don't activate these features, these panels, they push all the way in, and these panels can actually completely close to have them in there. They don't... on G1 Overlord, if you flip these in, they would kind of close, but they wouldn't close all the way with the Power Masters in. They stuck out too far, but this way you can actually close up those panels and leave the Power Masters inside the chest. And the last thing I want to show off, and this is actually kind of a benefit that the shield came off, because again, I don't want to transform them all the way into vehicle mode just to show off one little thing, but if you pop these guys out of here, turn them back into humanoid forms, they can fit on the jet. They will fit, they have to kind of lay flat because there's no seat in here. But if you open up the cockpit on the jet, you can put one of them in there, close it up inside the jet. And on the tank, it's a little different. But when you transform into tank mode, let me get these straight. This little opening right here on either side, you can use as the cockpit for the other one. Hold on, let me. Turn back into humanoid. And then you can kind of set them down in here, close it up. And they can drive the tank. So yeah, it's not the greatest solution, but it is a solution. You can get them in. You store them in the vehicle mode at any rate, which is nice. It does store a little better when you collapse these down. Let me just go ahead and take this apart. And turn this into the tank piece real quick. There you go, and here's a better example of it. It doesn't fall like when you have the leg piece actually collapse into the tank. You can see on this half, you can put the little pilot in there, and it doesn't fall, go rolling around. You can close this up. You can have them sit down a little bit. You can close that up if you want, and then the pilot's just kind of right there in the tank cockpit. So yeah, in conclusion, all in all, I think it's a really good set. I like that it's not necessary. If you wanted a comic Overlord, you got that. This is only if you just really needed it to be G1 Overlord. That's a nice little add-on set. The Continuum set here that adds chest panels, a new head, the Power Masters, and some smaller guns to the figure, and it works really well. I like the addition of the. Like I said, I tend to prefer Comic Overlord mostly because I'm not super familiar. Like I've seen the cartoons. It's been a long time since I actually sat down and rewatched them. I'm not super familiar with Overlord from the Japanese series. I'm a lot more familiar with the comic book version. But like I said, I think he looks good in either configuration. And if you just need to have a G1 Overlord, this is a nice addition set to Carnifex without shelling out for an actual G1 Overlord.